Okay, so here's the second part. Hopefully I left enough space for myself. If not, this might get a little messy, sorry. We'll give it a try. Okay, looking at this, we're still doing the same thing. We're solving the equation, all solutions indicated, degrees, radians, and so forth. And then I do have a few where we're going to do within an interval, but we'll get to those in a second. Okay, so again, always get your cosine by itself, or sine or tangent. So I added a 2 divided by 3, so cosine equals 2/3. Again, not on the unit circle. So theta equals cosine inverse of 2/3. Okay, again, we're still in degrees. My calculator is still in degrees, so I should be good. 2/3, is that a good ratio? Well, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is bigger. We're good to go. And we get theta equals 48.19 degrees. Okay, so let's look at this. And I honestly like to draw out my little angle in standard position just because it helps me visualize. So this is 48 degrees. Okay, and this is 2/3 something. So that's what this point would be if it was on a unit circle. If we drew it on the unit circle at 48.19 degrees, the value for cosine, or the ratio for cosine, is 2/3. Okay, all students take calculus. So this is a positive cosine, so my other positive is down here, meaning my reference angle is 48.19 degrees, and if you remember, reference angles are always positive. So how do I get this angle right here? How do I figure out this obtuse, or not obtuse, it's obtuse, this very large angle? Well, if you said we could take 360 minus 48.19, you would be 100% correct. So 360 minus 48.19, and we'd get 311.81 degrees. So my answer is 48.19 plus 360n, and 311.81 plus 360n. Okay, so far so good, hopefully. Degrees are nice, they make sense. Radians hopefully are starting to make more sense, but let's do our radians now. I don't know why my board keeps going blurry, so hopefully that helped. Okay, so on E, dealing with tangent. So tangent theta, if we add the 5 and then divide by 2, so add the 5, divide by 2 to get tangent by itself. Okay, tangent is opposite over adjacent. Does it matter which one's bigger? No, it really doesn't. The only thing that matters is if we have the hypotenuse, it's bigger than my other two sides. So I could go theta equals tangent inverse of 5/2. Okay, this time it is radians. So when I grab my calculator, I'm going to go mode, change this to radians. Okay, so then when I go second tangent inverse, 5/2, I'm going to get theta equals 1.19 radians. Okay, so we just have to think we're in radians. So if we were to look at this, a radian is a radius. If we did unit conversions, it's actually about, I think, 57 or 52 degrees. Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so 1.19 radians, let's say, is right here. So this is 1.19 radians. Okay, and this is tangent. So all students take calculus. Okay, we know in positive, all are positive, sine is positive, this quadrant tangent is positive. Okay, so this reference angle right here is 1.19. Okay, we could go ahead and find this angle. This is 180, or pi plus 1.19, and some of you have probably already seen this, but if I took pi plus 1.19, I would get this right here, this huge angle, not huge, but this angle right here is 4.33 radians. Okay, but if you remember, tangent has a cycle of 180. So if you notice, this right here is 180 degrees, then 180 degrees, and then 180, and then 180, and 180. It's just always 180. So instead of finding both of these for tangent, that was our other one. So instead of doing that, we only actually need to find 1.19 plus pi n every 180 degrees, which makes that really nice. Okay. You could do both. It's not wrong. It's just extra work, and you're actually repeating yourself. So this is my only answer right here. Okay. But that whole reference angle is really nice, because once I saw that, I could see the differences from here to here is 180 degrees, or pi radians. Okay, this one's a little bit different because we're going to find our two answers on this interval between 0 and 360. So it's actually the exact same thing. We just write our answers as our our radian or our degrees without this adding anything. Okay, so sine theta equals minus 1 divided by 6. So theta is going to equal the sine inverse of negative 1/6. Okay, if I've ever gone too fast on these, pause the video, make sure you understand. You guys can always request, send me an email on any problem, and I will be more than happy to work it out with a video so you guys have an instruction on how to do it. Okay, if you notice, my interval is 0 to 360 degrees, so I'm going to go back and change this to degrees. Today's one of those days where you go back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to go inverse sine or arc sine of negative 1/6. So sine or theta equals negative 9.59 degrees. Okay, so let's look at this. Negative 5.9 or 9.59 degrees. Okay, so it's back. All students take calculus. So we've got this one. Okay, so this is negative. Where's our other negative position for sine? Well, that's quadrant 3. So this one. So this is negative, but what's really my reference angle? Okay, my reference angle is 9.59. So this is 9.59. So I could do 180 plus 9.59. Okay. And we're going to get 189.59. Okay, so let's look at that. That looks pretty good. That's one of my answers, right? That's within my interval. So this answer is in my interval of 0 to 360. But is my negative one? No. So how do I find a coterminal angle that's going to give me this one, but in the interval between 0 and 360? Well, we just add 360 degrees. So negative 9.59 plus 360, and we're going to get 350.41 degrees. Which, if you notice that, if you add 9.59, that would get you to 360. This one is coterminal with our negative 9. So here's my two answers that are in the interval between 0 and 360. Okay. I'm just going to make this video extra long. Sorry about that. I just have two left. G and H. Okay. So again, an interval between 0 and 360. Cosine theta equals negative 3/4. theta equals cosine inverse of -3/4 or arc cosine. Okay, I should still be in degrees because I haven't changed my calculator. So I get theta equals 138.59 degrees. Okay, all students take calculus. 138, that is going to be give or take about here. Okay, so I got to find this reference angle. So I'm going to take 180 minus 138.59. And I get a reference angle of 41.41. Okay, so my reference angle is 41.41 degrees. So this was a -4/3, so all students take calculus. So the other position that this is negative in is going to be in quadrant 3. Okay, so in quadrant 3, if I look at this, my reference angle is 41.41. So I could do 180 plus 41.41, and that will give me this angle right here. So 180 plus 41.41. So that should give me 221.41 degrees. Okay, I'm on interval between 0 and 360. Those are my only two angles that will have a ratio of -3/4. So my answer is 221.41 degrees and 138.59 degrees. Okay, last one. Letter H. Okay, letter H, here we go. Minus the 2 divided by 5, tangent theta equals -2/5. Okay, so minus the 2 divided by 5. Tangent, arc tangent of -2/5 is going to equal theta. Ooh, hold on. Radians. I almost did this wrong. Okay, calculator, mode, change it to radians. Second, tangent, -2/5. So theta is going to equal -0.38 radians. Okay, so I just know that that's going to be somewhere over here, -0.38, okay, which means my reference angle is also 0.38. We're dealing with tangent, so it has 180 degrees, right? So let's look at this. Let's get our positive one. So let's take -0.38 radians, add 2 pi to that so we can get a positive one, because this answer is not within our interval. So -0.38 plus 2 pi. So that's about 5.90 radians. Okay? So there's our first answer, right? Well, if we think about this, all students take calculus. The only other place it is going to be negative is in this quadrant right here, 0.38. Well, if I did 180, not 180, sorry. If I did pi, can you see that? Yeah. So if I take pi minus 0.38, so if I take pi minus 0.38, I get 2.76. So my other answer is about 2.76 radians. What else could I have done to get that one? Well, if you said, well, what if I took -0.38 and added pi to that? I would have got it that way as well, because the distance from here to here is pi, and then pi, and then pi and pi. So technically, after I got the 1 and made it positive, there's one answer, and then just added pi, I got to my other one. Or we could treat it the same way we did the other ones and look at this reference angle and find that angle that way. Hopefully, guys, you guys will do good on these. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great Wednesday.